can't do this.
Candy Teeth Radio. Episode 18, everybody.
Really?
Yeah.
This is 18.
That's accomplishment.
It's a good number.
Feels like an accomplishment. This one is gonna be rad.
Oh, yeah, man. We have a real special guest this evening, which we'll be getting to in a little while.
Yeah.
But, it's real nice to be here.
Yeah. It always is. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, we've been getting some love creeping up the tracks.
Yeah.
Creeping up the
Creeping up the
rankings.
tracks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man.
Creeping up
Getting
the
some,
tracks on the stats.
Wichita love. Wichita has given us a little...
Man, Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
What's up, Kansas?
I do love you.
Yeah. We got some, fans in Dallas, and things picking up and bubbling. We like it. We appreciate you all up and down the California coast. We're getting some real Cali love.
Gotta plan that tour. Plan that beach tour.
That's right.
Playing that beach tour, man.
Yeah.
Playing that road trip.
Put that mic in a bag.
Yeah, anyone has a beach that we can hang out on wants us to record an episode there,
Yeah.
we'll audition you.
We'll audition.
Let us know if you're interested.
If you live in a city that has the word beach in the name, let us know.
I don't know, Long Beach.
Venice Beach.
Ooh. Dirty, but fun.
But fun.
Dirty but fun.
Dirty, but fun.
I don't know if I would say that to someone that lived there.
Well, man, speaking of California trips and road trips, my lovely wife Rachel and I just got back from a road trip down to LA.
Yeah.
We went down for a charity event. Headed down, it was pretty cool driving and checking out a bunch of different spots, man. We stopped in Mount Shasta,
Oh, yeah.
which Shasta's really...
Because you has to?
Because you has to. One of the cooler places you can stop at along the way.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Mount Shasta's cool, man. It's an energy vortex. Because the...
Like Lubbock?
Yeah, like Lubbock. And it's a natural pyramid. Like Mount Shasta's a natural pyramid. And then there's actually quite a bit of, belief that the same thing goes underneath the earth in kind of a reverse space, into the heart of the earth as well.
So
Yeah.
There's a cavity there?
Oh, there's a lot of
That
cavities.
shape?
There's a lot of like limestone in the area and caverns and which is beautiful at Mount Shasta Caverns,
Okay.
Lake Shasta Caverns. That was a different place we stopped at. Yeah, really interesting geologic space, and the pyramid adds a lot of specific energy. It's supposed to be the Earth's root chakra, so we all have chakras in our body.
Gross.
And
Why's it going to be that one?
Well, it's a ground. It's the base. It just holds it down.
I
Man.
know, but it's right next to the Earth's asshole.
It's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to. It's the Earth's chode. Is what that means.
Well, I wouldn't call Mount Shasta that, but
You just did.
it was
Just kidding.
beautiful place, man. It's believed that there are like small creatures that live down in the caverns and the negative space of the mountain.
For sure.
Yeah.
What are they called, though?
They're descendants of the Lemurians.
That's what I wanted to
Yeah,
hear.
they're the
Something like that.
Lemurians.
That's exactly what I wanted to
Which
hear.
is a whole other thing. That's like a whole other
Lemurians?
story. Yeah.
Like monkeys or something?
No, they're like descendants kind of
Atlantis
of like a whole different
people?
time. Kind of people.
What? So there's a bunch of golems that live down there?
Yeah, they're kind of dwarfy. They're kind of like
Yeah. Are they
it's a little elfy.
are
There's
they
a little elfy
slippery?
energy.
I picture them as slippery. And
So
I
did
don't
you
like
drink the tea they offered you, or?
It was delicious.
They came after the tea.
Oh
And
man,
then make
it's
it out what's inside your skull.
real beautiful place, man. Beautiful place. The
This
caverns.
is with the cannibal elves.
They're cool though.
They don't have teeth. They just have fish mouths.
Oh, just condemned to be not be able to chew anything your whole life. That's horrible. No wonder they live under the mountain.
But on the flip side of that, there's a bunch of like, very spiritually minded people and good positive energy
In the town?
Oh
Lake
yeah,
Shasta?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, because isn't it just like I live at Lake Shasta? There's not really you can just be happy.
Yeah. There's like yoga studios and really expensive, really
Pottery class.
pottery class.
Wine, drink, painting.
That's probably in the city.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Yes.
I like that.
drink wine painting.
That's what I'm gonna be doing when I'm old. Drink wine, painting.
You'll be there like, these motherfuckers don't even know who I am, you fucking punk kids. Just drink your fucking wine, fuck you. Look at this. And you just have some crazy shit that doesn't look like the still life that everyone's painting in the middle of the room. It's like dad and boy fucking talking shit to each other.
I'm into it.
Oh man, we went down from Mount Shasta.
Yeah.
Went out to the redwood forest.
Nice.
Right?
Yeah.
Went through the Avenue of Giants, which was really, really impressive. But to get there, there's like a couple different ways you can take, and you don't really know what one's what. So the route that we chose, it was some of the most intense driving I've ever done.
Yeah.
It was like 3 hours of switchbacks, of just like back and forths. It was like from I-5 out to the coast.
Highway 1 is what that is.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Highway 1. It was through the mountains. It was like the 505 or it was like some 440.
Oh, you weren't like
some
on the
mountain
cliff
road.
with the water right there?
No, we were
No.
mountain cliffs,
Yeah.
like going from inland over the mountains, like into the
Got it.
beach and the forest. And so intense, so
Yeah.
intense.
Yep.
Driving stick shift the whole way, just like
Ugh.
so fun and really intense.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
I was bummed when I was on the one on accident.
Oh, you gotta
I mean, like, not even on accident, but I didn't know that was that. I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And, like, because we could have went 2 different ways. Like, I-5 or on the one and see all the pretty cliff where you die.
Yeah.
Where you die. Like, the white line where the road is, where you're driving, the white line is the cliff. Part of it's missing because it's the cliff.
Yeah, huh?
Like the edge of the road, it's
Yeah.
like an infinity road. It just like stops in nowhere.
Yeah, and then it's like 400 feet down to
That's
like
real.
rocks and
Yeah,
water.
yes. That's one of the scariest things ever.
Dude, and then it's just hairpin left turn where it's like all you see in front of you is
Ugh,
sky.
nothing. I don't like that. Woo!
Mm-mm.
All right, I'm getting tripped out. Let's go.
And the thing is, if you like accidentally go on it, or you like go on it and realize you didn't want to go on it, it's like
Too
40
late.
miles till the next like time a different road comes by.
Yep.
Like I was on it, and we come around this corner, and there's just a fucking cow standing in the middle of the road.
So you had to jump off the cliff?
Yeah, I died.
That one sucked. I died.
I was a vegetarian in that life too, but now I'm like, fuck that. I'm eating some fucking cows. Assholes. No, you just had to wait. We honk the horn and it's all, looks at you like,
Yeah, like I'm a cow, dude.
Look, you know, the little
What do you
sideways chewing thing that does,
What do you want me to do?
what do you want me to do, man? Because then it's like, he just came down like a sheer cliff to get where he's at, you know what I'm saying? Sucked.
It's a girl.
Yeah, man.
She, yeah, you're right.
It was intense though. We swung through Santa Barbara, and then went to L.A. and stayed at the Hyatt Regency, Century Plaza, for the Unstoppable Gala, which is the Unstoppable Foundation was founded by a woman named Cynthia Kersey, and their mission is to give the gift of education to some of the poorest communities in Africa that have no opportunity to even go to elementary school. And so they go into the communities, build the schools, and then give the whole community the resources and like job staffing and training to set the whole place up and employ teachers and staff and like make it a sustainable employment center, and also give children an education, which changes entire lives.
Right.
So that was really amazing. Got to get a little close to some celebrity.
Yeah.
Malcolm Jamal Warner is
Yes.
a supporter of the Unstoppable Foundation.
Dude, I love that dude.
And so when he came out, man, I got really excited. I got pretty excited. I was like,
Yeah.
it's my boy,
Theo!
Theo! Like, it's my boy!
Yeah.
I wanted the chance so bad, but I kept it in.
Yeah.
I held it back.
Like, come on, I need to figure this
I'd have
out.
been like, dude, you want a bacon burger, dog? Here, watch some reruns, you'll get it.
Oh, yeah, right. It's a Cosby Show thing. The only thing that I have to say about Malcolm Jamal Warner is I wanted more, buddy. I wanted more of you at the event. He came out and did an introduction with Larry King's wife.
Wow.
Which, if you guys are unfamiliar with Larry King's wife,
I am.
you should look her up.
I've seen pictures of her. She's like hot old lady. And she's like super hot next to his crypt keeper ass.
Yeah, man.
He's fucking scary looking, dude.
No, she's just hot. And
Really?
she's just standing next to him like it doesn't matter. It's going to be over soon. And she's like, oh my God.
And then I'll be a bazillionaire.
Well, the thing is, she thought it was going to be way quicker than this.
Right.
Way quicker.
Oh, being with Larry?
Yeah, like she's getting old. She's like, what? Wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting old.
Foiled again.
Her name is Shawn Southwick, and she's 55. Right now, Larry's 81.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, gross. I got a visual mind.
Me too. I try to like turn it off a lot of times.
He's just asleep though. She gives him some pills and like uses him to hold the popcorn while she's watching the biggest TV ever made.
Here's a picture of Larry and Shawn. Here's a few photos of Larry and Shawn.
Okay. What? It looks like her dad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here on the red carpet. I brought my dad, who, his name's Larry, everyone. That's what it looks like, but it's really the opposite.
So anyway, congratulations, Larry.
Yeah, Larry.
And
Good job,
Shawn,
Larry. Good job,
both
Larry.
of you. But she was lovely.
And she's out there doing a cool thing too. We're like poking fun, but
Yeah. They're doing
She's
some
cool.
really great stuff
Yeah.
here. But so both of them actually, to the Kings, this is by no means disrespect, because they actually auctioned off. This was kind of cool. They auctioned off an opportunity to be interviewed by Larry King.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's
They didn't.
how much you got for that, Jeff?
Well, I'm not like the kind of guy that can really like participate in auctions.
Let's pretend.
Well, if I have all the money I want, then I don't care. Who knows?
Oh, you would just automatically get interviewed by Larry King?
Yeah, I mean,
If you have money.
are they going to put it on the TV, or is he just going to talk to you? And
You have it
record
like on a
No.
VHS on the side, like with your graduation or something.
That's dope.
You could just store it with your yearbook.
Oh,
Like,
then
here's my yearbook. and
$100.
Well, people were dropping like 28 G's on that.
No, of course they are.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
And then it was really cool because it was such a hot item. It was a real hot bid, that they split it. They said, okay, there's been enough. We'll do 4. And so they got up to the highest bid,
damn.
and like a few people were like, oh, they're kind of slowing back. They're like, oh. And then they ended up doing it. They like compromised and took a little lower bid. I think they had like 28,000 was the highest bid, and then
Right.
they took 25, but then took 4 of them. And they took, who will take 25? And they took like 3 more.
Right, okay.
So, interesting though is like, you pay $25,000 to have Larry King interview you,
Yeah,
and just
it
sit
is
down and be like, so, why should I care about you?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
That's
like-
what I'm like, because these are regular people, right?
Yeah, you're like, it's cool.
Or are they? I guess some of them are celebrities.
There were some celebrities there.
And
you
so
know,
it makes
some-
sense, but it's
yeah.
like, yeah, I mean, if it was like just some regular Joe like me or whoever, it'd be like, so, Jeff, Tell America about you, because they've never fucking heard of you. Well, I have this podcast. Like, oh yeah, the podcast. That's right. I'm sorry I didn't mention that.
Oh, yes, Candy Teeth Radio, talk of the town.
Right, yeah. Heard of it just this morning when you told me about it.
Dude, I think we got to get to Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
He's
even
starting to write funny stuff.
All right.
He's starting
Call
to
him
write
up.
funny stuff. What were you going to say? Were you going to say something there?
The Unstoppable, it was a beautiful thing. It was like really incredible to be there, and
And all the money goes to like build schools in Africa.
Yeah, and then help maintain those within the community, like
Right.
teach people how to operate them. And
Wait a minute. There's a highlight though that you're skipping. That I saw the picture. Of
Yeah, I
you.
saw something too.
I saw the picture of you photobombing Warren Moon.
Oh yeah, oh that's right, Warren Moon,
Yeah.
the NFL superstar quarterback, Warren Moon, and current Seahawks color commentator,
Yes.
was quite a big part of the event. He's a huge sponsor and was actually a really great speaker and presenter, man. That guy's engaging and
for sure.
really intelligent and really holds some presence and command of a room. And I don't have much of a connection with football, but like I thought he was a pretty cool guy, but not quite to the level that I wanted to necessarily go up and take any of his time and be like, hey, I want to like tell you did great. And I didn't really need to be that guy.
Okay.
But I thought it was kind of cool. So I walked over behind Warren Moon and got a little like photo bomb. I'm hanging out back there.
I saw that. That was good.
It was great.
Pretty good picture. You got to post that picture.
Yeah.
I will post a photo of me.
You're wearing a sweet outfit in that photo as well, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. As a matter of fact.
Nice tuxedo there.
Oh, thank you. I got quite the compliments on the outfit that evening. It was great. Let's get this guy Steve Olson on the line, man.
Let's call him.
But first, isn't there somebody else you wanted to...
Oh, we should let's call Chad Muska.
Let's hear what Chad Muska has to say.
All right. Hold on a second. Don't try to look at his number on my phone.
It's all good, dude.
It's secret, dude.
I don't call people.
First rider I picked to be on shorties was Steve Olson because he's just the raddest individual person, and the skateboarding is just insane. He's just crazy, and I mean, he's one of my best friends, and he's one of the coolest, down-to-earth people in the world. And Steve Olson is a skateboarder that can skateboard anything. Anything in front of him, Steve will skate. Whether it's a ditch on the side of the freeway when you're in the middle of nowhere, or if it's in a handrail in the middle of downtown LA, he will anything. I mean, Steve will skate it. Steve is a skateboarder that will skate anything.
What happened?
My phone just broke. My phone just broke. That was crazy. Sorry, Chad.
Is it gonna work to call Steve?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's just get Steve Olson on the line.
Yeah.
Siri, are you okay?
I'm sorry, Jeremy. I'm afraid I can't answer that.
Whoa.
Whoa. What's
See,
going on?
She's too secretive. I hate it.
She's hiding things from you.
Can you call Steve Olson?
Calling Steve Olson.
Hello.
Hello!
Hey, Steve, what's up, man?
Hello.
Steve Olson, a.k.a. Crazy Monk, on the Candy Teeth Radio Podcast.
Oh yeah.
Yay. How's it going?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yo, my name is Crazy Monk. Candy Teeth. Radio. Creative. Radio. Candy Teeth Creative. We take it back to the sacred. Enter my kung fu chamber, where we will be safe from danger. Radio. Candy Teeth Creative. Take it back to the basement, to a spaceship, to the sacred. Enter my kung fu chamber, where we will be safe from danger. Healing sound surround. G.O.D. Science Alliance.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That was dope. Jeff got in there with you.
Yeah.
Can you hear that?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good, man. We were just talking about some weird stuff.
Yeah, talking about a little road trip that I just took down through the California coast from Tacoma to L.A.
Nice. But
yeah, man. So you're originally have a little Tacoma history, man. I grew up, really into skateboarding and saw you kind of coming up through the scene, and never knew you personally or met you, but always knew you were out there in the periphery. And I thought it was real cool that somebody from where I was from was starting to make it into the scene.
Heck yeah, man. You're from Tacoma?
I grew up in Auburn, but close, in this area. It was close enough for me to make it real.
if you were in the Pacific Northwest, I think, and you skated, then you probably knew who Steve Olson was.
Yeah.
In this area, because there was crazy stuff going down. Like, me and Steve are old friends, and from skating and, like, growing up skating.
Mm-hmm.
And, Steve was always, like, a different thing, had a different mindset. I'm going to talk about him like he's not in a phone right now.
How very rude.
A different mindset. You always felt like you had a different mindset when you were skating, that you're looking at all the same spots that we skate all the time with a different view. And, like, you opened up my mind to thinking like that. And, like, that's a huge thing in, like, my life today, which is weird,
Yeah.
So thank you for that. But it,
Heck yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, you always used to bust the frontside half cab heel flip.
yeah. That was it.
Had that one wide.
Yeah.
I'm definitely down to talk about this skateboarding. Really stoked to be on here with you guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks for coming on here.
Wait, would you guys be down if I busted out with, like, just real quick 4 times this sacred healing enlightenment mantra? It's like a powerful mantra from India.
Yeah.
And it has, like, healing powers. And if you hear it, it, like, forms a protection force field around you. And
yeah, I'm into it.
I definitely love that too.
Yeah.
I have my own little protection force field going on. There are things of work in the studio.
you guys are down, if I could spark it off with that real quick?
Yep.
Let's get it going.
Okay. I'm going to spark it off with this. This is the Sri Mrityunjaya mantra. It's a mantra to Shiva. Shiva is a name for God from India. But I'm just going to say this mantra 4 times real quick, just to spark off this thing that we're doing here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love it.
God, I love you, God. I just want to pray real quick, God. People call you Allah, Shiva, Krishna, Jesus. Just want you to know, God, I love you. I love everything in your creation. And I'm just always just wishing for good things for everything and everyone. So now I'm going to spark off this Sri Mrityunjaya mantra real quick. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityormukshiyamamritat Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mokshiya Mamrita.
Yeah.
Nice.
Man, that's a really nice tone in here. Thank you.
Yeah. Sri Mrityunjaya mantra.
I loved it, man.
Where'd you learn that?
I heard about it from a couple different books. Like, I met this one yogi, and she taught about it. She is from this yogi tradition.
Mm-hmm.
She taught about it, and then I read about it in this other book. This one yogi, this great yogi from India, he died, and he was in a hospital, and he was brain dead.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're brain dead, that means basically by modern medical discoveries in science, it's you can't come back to life. You're like a vegetable,
right?
Basically, according to modern medical theories. But this yogi died, and he was brain dead for over a month, 40 days. And his disciple and these other yogi masters, they sat around him and chanted this mantra for 40 days. And then he came back to life after 40 days. And the doctor that was overlooking him, that had him hooked up on life support, was all super tripped out, because he's that's impossible. You can't come back to life
Right.
after. And they said, we have to chant this for 40 days, and then hopefully he'll come back to life. And then on the 40th day, he came back to life after they chanted this mantra around him for 40 days. And then the doctor quit being a doctor and became that disciple of the yogi tradition.
Wow.
Whoa, that's good.
Dedicated his life to seeking enlightenment. That's from a crazy book though, Autobiography of a Sadhu. That's a really good book.
Nice.
Yeah, man, that was wonderful.
I'm surprised the doctor didn't just snuff him out with a pillow, though, real quick. And be no, that stuff doesn't work.
Not my hospital.
That stuff doesn't work.
No, that's cool that they let him do it. I can see them not being allowed to do that for insurance purposes or some shit like that around here in America.
Right. You can't bring people back to life.
Yeah.
Against the law.
No, it's because it's visiting hours. You gotta leave. You can't chant.
Right.
Yeah.
Power of mantra's pretty strong, man. Yeah, there are certain tones and frequencies that, as they link together, kind of can transcend our language. And you don't really need to necessarily understand word for word what you're saying in your mantra, especially the ancient ones like Gayatri Mantra and Rig Veda and things like that are, they hold their own very specific, idealistic and energetic frequency.
Yeah, definitely. Different frequencies and tones have different types of effects, even if you don't understand what they mean. The Om mantra, if you chant it, it makes your brain enter into a theta brainwave state, which is a calm, peaceful, conductive to health, and feeling peaceful inside. Theta brainwave, if you chant Om, it has that effect physiologically on your brain.
Nice.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I wanted to actually talk about that. These experiments about that with sounds and frequencies, but we might not have time today. If we have time later, we could talk about that.
Yeah, cool.
I definitely want to talk about that at some point for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. That's actually, kind of a topic that we've already covered a couple times over is, sound and frequency and how that translates to meditative and transcendental states. And so we'd love to get back there with you.
Yeah, for sure.
But what I think myself and a lot of other people might like to be interested about is some more of your history and where you came from. I mean, you and Jeremy were friends growing up. You guys skated together, and then you kind of took off.
Flew away.
Yeah, you just kind of flew away.
Flew up. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy, definitely. That's the homie right there. That's a good friend.
How did you use this kind of stuff like in your skateboarding though? Because that was something that seemed like it was part of your skateboarding, especially when it got really serious, like in San Diego. It seemed like you were deep into like a bunch of stuff, but like how did you use it towards skateboarding?
Well, for me, I always in skating, like I went pro at age 17, and
Damn.
I was really lucky, you know, I never even had a job until I was 28. I'm 38 now.
Yeah.
But I never had like an actual 9 to 5 clock in, you know what I mean, paid by the hour job until I was 28.
You were still working though.
That allowed me to have a lot of free time, and I didn't. It was all that I knew. I went from being a kid living at home to basically people saw me skate and they were like, "Oh, we want you to be on our team," and then boom, they turned me pro when I was 17. I was sponsored for like a year, and then like boom, they turned me pro.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Foundation, right?
Yeah, Foundation Skateboards, and so it was all I really knew was like skateboarding, and
Yeah.
I didn't really like grasp basically what I was trying to say is I didn't grasp like the situation that I was in. It was normal to me, but that obviously like that's not normal for most people. You know, in this society, you have to work and earn money, and so I basically I just like moved to California from Tacoma, Washington, and I just like skated all the time, and I was just like super zoned out in my own little world, really.
Yeah.
And like
You can tell that from watching the videos.
What?
You can tell that from watching the videos. Like your parts, like you have a different like presence about you in the part than all the other skaters do in the video.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was 10 or 11, my dad put me in these classes and we did experiments to like learn how to see the human aura and how to like scientifically detect the energy field around a person. And this is when I was like 10 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
My dad was really into spirituality and mystical types of living and studies, and then like even me and my friend Tom, Jeremy's other good friend and my good friend, me and Tom, when we were like 14, 15, we had books about like learning how to astrally project. We were like trying to do that at that young of an age, because that's what like interested us. We were like,
for sure, man.
this. And we skated too, and I mean, really, like, whether it's dance, martial arts,
basketball,
or skateboarding,
drawing,
it's like, it puts you into an altered state, or to do it well, you have to, like, let go of the physical, and you go into an altered state of being in the moment. It's like a moving meditation. So how did I use any of those types of spiritual things we're talking about in skating?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know that when I skate now and when I skated back then, I think it was a moving meditation for me. It made me like forget the world, like forget everything, forget my body, forget my mind, forget the world.
Yeah.
To the point of being fully invested in like forgetting everything, you know what I mean? Because if you try to go and like jump off of some huge thing that's like 10 feet high, it's like you could get hurt. I was that invested in it that I let go of everything. But another thing that I learned from practicing Qigong, which is somewhat of it's a discipline where you develop your Qi in your body. I've practiced Qigong to a degree for some number of years, and I know for a fact that skateboarding, it actually is a form of Qigong, because without even knowing it, you're basically like you're developing your chi to where you can jump down stuff without getting hurt, because it's not just your muscles and strong muscles and joints and muscle conditioning that plays a part, but you're also developing your chi, like the force field around you. So that's why when you're on point, you can fall and you won't even get hurt, because your chi is there. It's like a cushion. It's protecting you. So, I mean, like moving meditation, chi, all that type of stuff, it all ties into skateboarding. So, I mean, that, I guess maybe that to a degree answers your question.
Yeah, for sure.
That fully answers.
And you
my
got that
question.
shoulder roll down too. You know how to tuck that shoulder and do a roll.
Oh man, the way that you could come out of things sometimes would just be unbelievable. It would look like you were just gonna like ruin yourself, and then somehow you'd like do a cartwheel out of it, you know, and then maybe pick the board back up and like jump onto another obstacle, you know.
Yeah, I remember I used to slam, man.
Yeah.
Take some hard slams. We all did, I'm sure.
Yeah. I saw you slam pretty hard before. I've seen everybody that skated slam pretty hard before.
I just know the cool ones they put in the like extra section of the video.
Man. Dude, downtown back in the days, that's all I want to talk about for the rest of my life.
Yeah, downtown Tacoma. We were just always just lurking down there.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. It was so great. That was like my first like family feeling of like creating a tribe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was the first time I felt like I'm going to my family when I leave my whatever house.
Yeah.
And it was always really fun. Just that group feeling. And not like a team group. Like you're doing a sport, but it's not a team sport, but you're like still a team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I was into that.
It was just like connection, community, just friendship.
Yeah,
being
learning.
With people that like you, care about you, and boom, we had our own little tight knit community.
And it was all the coming of age time too. Like everybody came of age right during that time.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting. Tacoma was a big skate city.
Yeah, because there was no people. Remember that?
Yeah. I mean, even definitely downtown Tacoma, it used to be like ghost town. There was business people down there from 9 to 5 during the weekdays, but then after 5 and on weekends, it was ghost town. It was just only skaters and homeless people.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it was.
It was
crazy.
And
fun.
security guards.
They came later, though.
I know.
And what? What did you say?
He said security guards, but that wasn't until the end.
Oh, yeah, there were security guards.
They used to be just cops back when we went there all the time. The cops would come every once in a while to the garage, and we'd run away, like just go to the other spot, and they would leave. But then the security guards came, and they would just follow you to the next spot, and then follow you to the next spot.
Yeah, they suck.
So it ran you out. Whack.
Yeah, Tacoma too. It definitely had a good skateboarding subculture at a time when skateboarding it wasn't as well known, you know, as a subculture and as an industry.
Yeah.
It was a lot smaller back then.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started in 1987, and I was lucky to pretty much like right away when I started skating, I met older skaters who were pretty much like just as good as the pros.
Yeah.
But they were just like totally weird, grimy, unknown, just street skater dudes who
Right.
could just like ollie over fire hydrants and stuff. But this is like in 87, 88.
Damn.
So it was just like I met these guys like Mike Shelma. He was one dude. I heard that he died, but
Wow.
I remember he was really dope. And
What,
I
they were
met
like,
them and
they took you in, and you were like a grommet kid, and they like took you around, like in a car or something, to spots?
Yeah, but no one even had a car.
Ah, you skate
Nobody
around
skated.
with the butt rockers,
And
dude.
I was like 12. I was like 11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
These dudes were like 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah.
And it was only because I liked to skate, and then like I would progress, and like everyone would progress. But they were like, I was like their mascot. It was crazy.
Yeah. I like that story.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so Tacoma had a great skate subculture back in the day when you were coming up. When you were traveling around, what are some other standouts for you? Like favorite cities of yours that really stood out in your world travels?
Well, I went to Morocco.
Ooh.
That was really amazing to go there. I think that's probably the most different culture that I've been to. Because a lot of the places that I've traveled are more Western cultures, like Europe. I mean, even Japan is pretty Westernized, the parts of Japan that I went to. And I would say Morocco was definitely one of my favorite places just because it was so different, and it also to me seemed like a lot to be somewhat of a third world country, so it's just really take you out of the box if you're like an American.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially for me, I was younger, and I was just went there and just see like this over 1,000-year-old city, and it's even parts of the city have walls around them, 30-foot high walls made out of stone.
Wow.
And you go in there, like cars can't even drive in the old part of the city. It's so old, and then there's like a river that goes through there, but it's all full of trash. Completely just full of trash.
Whoa.
The whole riverbed, and you're just thinking, man, this is crazy. This is normal to these people.
Yeah.
So I liked Morocco, and I really liked Spain.
Spain seems like it would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, I got sent to Spain. I had never even been on a plane, and then at age 16, I got sent to Spain. First time I ever even went on a plane before
Jesus.
by myself. And I got there, and
Who are you hooking up with?
I went there. Josh Beagle was out there,
Yeah.
and we skated. I don't know. I'm sure someone, either you guys or someone that's listening, will know Enrique Lorenzo.
Yeah.
I skated with him. He's a big pro from Spain now, but I skated with him before he was even sponsored, and he was really good. He was like better than any of us. He was really, really good.
Yeah.
We skated with him randomly. We pretty much were with him the whole time, and these Spanish guys basically brought us out there because they just wanted us to go out there and skate on the foundation. And we skated spots that are really famous now. We skated Barcelona back then. This is like 92 or 93. We skated Barcelona, which is one of the top skateboarding destinations now, or it was like 5 years ago. But and like the train station in Barcelona, we skated that way back then, like 92 to 93. That was a really, really crazy, amazing experience. I remember I just stayed with these Spanish skaters and their family. I would wake up in the morning and they would feed me like toast with peanut butter,
Yeah.
really strong coffee. I'd just be like, yeah.
Yeah, do that. Oh, that sounds like fun.
It was cool.
And then just go skate.
And then just go skate all day in a different place
a lot
with
of
different
other
obstacles.
places too that I went to. I went to Amsterdam like so many times. I went there so many times, like I don't even know how many times I went there. And like I saw a UFO. I've seen UFOs like 4 times. No wait, 1, 2. Seen UFOs 4 times.
Where?
And I've seen a UFO in Amsterdam. That's like a crazy story.
I want to go there and see a UFO myself.
Yeah.
I like the story.
Yeah.
I
Tell us the story.
want to hear.
You want to hear that story?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Aliens?
Absolutely, man. What's
For
your
sure.
UFO story?
Should I bust it out? That's a good story for sure. You guys would probably like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear it. I'm
I have
into it.
another story too about how we ran a police roadblock in Morocco.
Oh,
That was
shit.
crazy.
That's a good
They
one.
didn't even come after us, but they could have. It was weird.
Wait, why did you go
That's a
through
good
it?
story, too. What?
Why'd you go through it? Oh, never mind. I know
My
why.
friend that was driving the car just floored it, put the pedal to the metal. These
What?
cops stopped us at this roadblock, and they were like, "You'll pull over to the side of the road right now." And my friend just
Nope.
he had been to Morocco a bunch of times. And he was he knew that
They would
because
chase.
we had, you know what I mean. We probably had some illegal stuff in the car.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I
those
get it.
type of things. So, boom, he just floored it and went through
Just
whatever type of roadblock. Mostly just cops blocking us. And
Just convoy
going
style.
the other way.
That's awesome.
I could tell. I could add some detail to that. But no, if you want to hear about the crazy UFO in Amsterdam,
Absolutely.
Dude, that's the
Yes.
only thing I want to hear about.
you do want to hear about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, I was in Europe, in Switzerland. I was with Ed Templeton
Yeah.
and all these other dudes. We were traveling around Europe, and I got hurt. Not go to the hospital hurt, but hurt pretty bad to where I pulled a muscle in my back, and I was like, man, I can't skate because we were basically going to contest. I was like, man, this sucks. I would always get hurt all the time. Just skate, get hurt all the time. But I didn't even have any money, and I think Chris Sen, you remember that dude, Chris Sen?
Hell yeah. I'll never forget Krista.
I seen Chris Sen in Switzerland. I think we were in Geneva. I don't even remember what city we were in. And I was like, man, I need to get out of here. I need to go to Amsterdam by myself.
Right.
I hurt my back, and I was like, man, I don't got no money. And he was like, oh, I was just with this skateboard distributor company owner dude. And I was like, for real? And I was like, let me see this dude. And I talked to this skateboard distributor company owner dude. I was like,
Dude.
yo, man, lend me some money and I'll pay you back. He was like, all right. And he gave me a couple $100 or something. And boom, I just boned out. I didn't even tell Ed Templeton, anyone I was with. I just disappeared. Got on a train with my backpack. Went on a train for 2 days or a day by myself to Amsterdam. And then when I got to Amsterdam, it was Friday night.
Oh,
Amsterdam
hell
was a
yeah.
big tourist city. And I had been there before, so I knew hostels, hotels, and I went to all the places I knew, and they were all booked up because it was Friday night.
Oh.
And it's like the Las Vegas of Europe.
Right.
And there was nothing, nowhere for me to stay. So I was like, And I went to this crazy, near the red light district, which is the sketchy part of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Super grimy, sketchy. I went. There was this crazy little Hansel and Gretel looking friggin' motel
Oh, I like it.
Looked like a Hansel and Gretel cottage.
Yeah.
No, you're gonna get eaten by the
All
witch. Don't go in
architecture over
there.
It's all old school, European, skinny little cobbled streets with canals everywhere. Amsterdam has a lot of canals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Boats everywhere. And I went and I knocked on the door, and this dude opens the door. He's a really 45-year-old Arabic guy or something. And I was like, man, I really need a place to stay. Please let me stay here. And he was like, no, I have no rooms. You cannot stay here. I was like, please, man. Like, I'm about to sleep on the streets. Just let me stay here, please. He was like, I have no rooms. I was like, please, man, I'll pay you as much as you want me to pay you. And he was like, okay. Stay here. If you take off all your clothes. And he, like, throws open the door, and he's, like, in his underwear only. I freaked out, and I was like, man.
He called it his little alien. He called it his UFO.
What?
He called it his UFO.
No. He was like, I will show you my UFO.
Dude, I saw a UFO in Amsterdam, man. That thing was nasty.
That was unidentified for sure.
So you left there. You left there, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you didn't stick around and stay there, right?
No, I was like, damn, this is crazy. I was like boned out all hella fast, like super paranoid. Like I went to the train station and put all my stuff in a locker.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go lurk the streets all night, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I just went and like I haven't even smoked weed since 2008. I quit smoking weed in 2008.
Right.
But back then I smoked weed. That's probably why I wanted to go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's what I was thinking.
I went and I just bought hella weed, and I went to this park where they had like this vert ramp just in the middle of this park, and like I climbed up on the vert ramp.
Yeah. On the top.
Just like I was up there like smoking weed out of like a pop can, like an aluminum can all night. And people just kept on coming up there onto the platform of the vert ramp, and they would see me up there, and like some of them were cool, they would talk to me, and some of them were like, whoa, this is like a bum sleeping up here or something.
Yeah.
But then just probably at like 3 or 4 in the morning, I seen the UFO. I was just laying on my back looking up at the sky. I seen this star. It like glowed really bright, and then it like broke apart into 3 different stars, and they just started flying like all over the sky.
Whoa.
Leaving these streaks all the way across the sky, and they would just go from one side, like one horizon, boom, all the way across the sky to the other side, and just like, and then boom, just stop, and then like turn at a right angle, and then boom, stop, and go the opposite direction all hella fast. But they were just like leaving streaks and just flying in all these like crazy patterns. And
You're just staring at it?
What?
You're just staring at it? Like they're staring at it? Like what the?
Yeah, I mean, I thought like, maybe I got some weed that was laced with some kind of something, but it was only for like 1 minute, and then it stopped.
Yeah.
And it was like a star that just started flying all around. So I think it was a UFO. I mean, it could have been some kind of like military thing of, where they can like project lights onto the friggin' atmosphere or something. But honestly, I don't know what it was. But
it's unidentified.
Yeah, we don't know, so it counts as a UFO.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like anything I've ever heard of.
And then I read later in this book, The Keys of Enoch, it describes exactly what I saw.
Ooh.
Whoa.
It's called like the Merkaba vehicle.
Oh. Yeah, man. This is a subject we've actually covered before on, it's been a while now. This was our Christmas episode. We
Back
did
in the beginning.
A very Merkaba Christmas.
Oh, that's right.
And talked about some Merkaba energy field. That is actually what some people call a UFO, or see as UFOs, is this energy light body that people can attain by doing enough spiritual practices and meditation to like fully activate their kundalini and do a Merkaba meditation and focus, which is... There's a whole episode about it. Go back and listen to it. It's about harmonizing and unifying the upward masculine and downward feminine energies, and how those two are absolutely inherent in every single thing of matter, ever, anywhere. etc. We can go on and on about the Merkaba energy field.
And they make UFOs.
But a Merkaba is supposedly a fully activated, fully actuated human being that is actually doing kind of some intergalactic travel or doing some really serious remote healing work that maybe just their body would remain in one place and look like they were meditating, but they were actually doing some kind of, galactic or intergalactic work.
So there you
Yeah, definitely. I've studied to my knowledge, the teacher who popularized the Merkaba system and all the teachings about the Merkaba was Drunvalo Melchizedek in the early 90s. He popularized, repopularized sacred geometry and the flower of life, and then he had this whole Merkaba meditation system that he taught through seminars in the early 90s, and then other people took it and ran with it too. And the Keys of Enoch is not connected to Drunvalo Melchizedek, but they talk about Merkaba in there more as a light vehicle. And J.J. Hurtak was the guy who wrote the Keys of Enoch. And then that's not to be confused with the Book of Enoch, which is supposedly one of the missing books of the Bible.
Right.
But you can get it. It's not in the Bible, but they have English translations of it, the Book of Enoch from the Bible. But definitely the light body.
Do you think that was what you saw then? Someone was doing that?
I think what I saw personally, honestly, I don't know what it was, but I saw a book later, The Keys of Enoch, that described exactly what I saw. It said it appears as a bright ball of light, it breaks into three, and then it does certain geometric flight patterns.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically, it's a language of light through flying and forming geometric patterns in the sky, and they're basically programming you with knowledge. They're a more advanced, not more advanced, but they're just a different type of a race of beings. I guess almost like angels or spiritual beings of light. And yeah, they can travel interplanetary and light ships. They have light bodies, and they apparently, according to this book, they will fly, and when you see them and they fly in all these geometrical light patterns, they're programming your brain with new information. So maybe that's why I am the way I am. I don't know, because I saw that, but friggin'. But on the flip side, like I said earlier, that the atmosphere, it's just like a screen. It's a barrier. You can shoot stuff onto it like a projection onto a movie screen.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been some kind of just military thing. They're there's hella people on drugs in Amsterdam. Let's project a bunch of stuff on the atmosphere to trip people out.
Let's trip them out, man. Have a good one, hippies.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The military has pretty advanced stuff, HARP and Ice Cat. And
the beginning of the Pineapple Express. I know what you're talking about.
Pineapple Express?
You seen that one?
Isn't that a certain weather?
Yeah. It's also a movie. I thought you might have saw it. It's just all about weed. In the beginning of it, they go into a hole in the ground, and it's a huge testing place for weed. And then they shut it all down. They watch the test, and the guy's just getting baked out, and then they're shut it down, illegal. Anyways, that's all I was gonna.
Okay.
I think everybody else has seen that movie, so they'll understand.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what it was that I saw, but I think that You know, I'm hoping that it was like some advanced beings of light and some Merkaba light ships.
Yeah,
you know
me
what
too.
I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, that's definitely my favorite thing to think of that is, as opposed to anything else, you know, some kind of trickery or some kind of like...
Yeah, military weirdness.
Yeah, military weirdness. No, it was, you definitely saw something pretty special right there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and I saw another UFO too when I was 10 years old in Tacoma. So, I mean...
Yeah.
So it wasn't
Keep
the
your
first
eye out.
one. I saw UFO one time.
Where?
I was in Rochester, where I grew up in New York.
Yeah.
I was just skating home down the road,
Yeah.
and it was like just like a long straight road with like trees on both sides, you know.
That's the
Like
worst.
but it was just like right on the side of the road, and then fields behind the trees, so it's just like a row of trees.
Oh,
you know
it
what I'm
isn't
saying?
dark
So then you
woods.
got sky, and then a little bit of tree, and then more sky.
Yeah.
And so then I'm skating down the road, and I look up, and there's like this weird like football shaped shadow moving like horizontally, you know, and then it goes out of my view behind the tree, and then it never came out the other side. That was weird. And it wasn't like someone threw a football into the tree, you know. It's like there's nobody out there.
Dude,
know?
I think an alien threw a football into the tree.
But then another time I was skating home, and this is here in Washington. I was much older, and I was skating back to my house after work, and I was rolling down the road, and I looked up, and I saw the Northern Lights.
Yeah.
And then I just kept looking up while I'm just riding down the street.
Oh.
And then I ended up in the back of somebody's car.
Oh, no.
Like, they was parked on the side of the road because it was like midnight, you know.
Yeah.
So, and it was a side street. But it was so cool. I've never seen them before or since. Northern Lights. I don't know if you guys seen them.
I haven't had a chance to
No?
yet, no.
Really cool, and I'm sure that it's better if you go further north. But have you ever seen the Northern Lights, Steve?
like Aurora Borealis?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. Don't you have to go to like Alaska or
That's what I thought.
Or a northern place maybe?
Yeah.
That's why it tripped me out, and why I kept skating down the street, looking into the sky, and not looking where I was going. But rarely, I guess, it appears a little further south like that. But it's really cool. It makes me want to go to Alaska to see it for real.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what? Craig was supposed to be on here, but he missed out, right?
Yeah.
But he was telling me this story that I want to hear about. He said something about a letter from Courtney Love.
What?
Honestly, like, he always says he was like, I don't even remember that. I'm going to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I had that board graphic. It was like, had Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain on it. And it was a skateboard graphic that this artist did because he was just wanting, it was right after Kurt Cobain died. And it was like, had Courtney Love, Kurt Cobain on the skateboard, like a shotgun, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But, like, what I remember was that Foundation got a letter from Courtney Love's lawyer.
Uh-huh.
That makes more
saying,
sense.
Like, oh, you have to, like,
Cease and desist. Yeah.
On the skateboard graphic. But, I mean, I'm 38. I mean, I'll be honest. I have a good memory about some stuff. Some stuff I don't remember. So,
Yeah.
Craig was saying, he said that to me recently. I remember he was like, yeah, remember you got that letter from Courtney Love? And I was like, I don't remember that, but I don't know. I thought it was her lawyer that we got the letter from.
Kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, that would make more sense.
Yeah.
Well, it's still a cool story.
One thing that I was thinking about that was cool, I actually want to write an article about it for a skateboard magazine. I want to research it more. I was thinking that basically skateboarding, it comes from surfing. Like, it was started by surfers, to my knowledge, skateboarding.
Yeah.
Right.
To a large degree, it was invented by surfers. Surfing, I'm pretty sure, comes from the Pacific Islanders, and there's a Pacific Island shamanic tradition, the kahuna, like Hawaiian kahuna shamanic tradition. I'm pretty sure that surfing, it was related. I believe it was related to like Hawaiian royalty somehow, but
Yeah, definitely.
this is what I want to research it more to write about it. But I'm pretty sure it was also related to Hawaiian shamanism. The kahunas, the Hawaiian shamans, and the Hawaiian royalties, they were at odds during a certain point in history. I remember they had outlawed, I think they had actually outlawed shamanism. So the shamans had to go underground, and most of them retreated to the island of Kauai.
Mm-hmm.
Kauai became like a stronghold of Hawaiian shamans, and they all like went there. And the Hawaiian royalty, they made boats illegal. Like only boat travel that was allowed was sanctioned only by basically like the Hawaiian royalty. So basically, like people that knew how to make boats and travel between the islands, it was like subversive, illegal. And with the shamans, were like screw that. Like they basically were like master, canoe makers.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that they surfed too. So basically, I'm putting forth the idea that skateboarding basically was spawned from like a shamanic tradition originally, if you study the history. So I don't think that it's weird that I'm like into shamanism and spirituality to the degree that I am being a skater, because I mean, if skaters really want to like study, boom, where did it come from, then that has something to do with it. I would like to write an article about that. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be
it'd be
super cool, man. It
Great for you to do that.
kind of sounds like you did just write an article.
Yeah.
Listen to the, we'll have it for posterity on the podcast. So that was great.
You could write a whole book about that.
You could write a book about that. That's a really cool tie-in of, the different, like you say, the shamanic traditions, the royalty traditions, and how that, at the time, was the only people that could do those specific things. And so it's really cool that you're making that link of, you can skate and have a spiritual life.
Well, that's
spiritual mindset.
and that's your whole style, though. During your whole career, it seemed like you were doing that. That's like kind of what I was referring to earlier. Like you're doing something else. You're not. It's not skateboarding. It's like skateboarding is a form of expression that you're doing something else. Do you get what I'm saying? So it seemed like.
Yeah, like I always knew that people thought I was weird, but I didn't know why. But I still don't know why. But I guess I kind of do. I guess I'm just weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Weird's probably better though.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like
mean,
weird.
Life is hard sometimes. That's one thing that got me interested more in spirituality and was wanting to understand inner peace, because when I really started having my first conscious spiritual awakening when I was 18, and at 19, 20, 21, 22, I kind of started to lose like that youthful. To me, I just remember when I was young, I wouldn't think about anything. I would just go throughout life just kind of naturally at peace. And then I started just getting more and more in my head as I got older, in my early 20s. And I started to kind of like lose my feeling of inner peace and started to feel disturbed, mentally disturbed, just in my head, just thinking about stuff. Almost just like my brain was just like glitched, like on like a skipping CD or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, man, this sucks. Like, and then I started looking into spiritual teachings more and going to temples. And I actually lived next to a Hindu temple for almost 10 years. Jeremy used to come and visit me. I don't know if we ever went.
In Pacific Beach?
The Christian temple. Did we go to the Christian temple, Jeremy, when you
No.
were in SC at all?
No. I was in San Diego drinking Jägermeister. I wasn't trying to go to church. I was getting beat up by the sea.
Yeah. But I lived by this Krishna temple, which is what introduced me to esoteric Hindu teachings.
Yeah. I remember when I was there visiting, you were into all that, and you were deep into it. Like you were studying all kinds of religions, it seemed like.
What?
It seemed like you were studying all kinds of religions.
Yeah, that's definitely what I like to do. I've met different spiritual teachers, and I've even, joined different groups over the years, and then, unjoined them.
Yeah, just checking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's good to be part of a dogmatic group, especially if they have different spiritual practices that you can learn and practice intensely. I used to be part of this Qigong group called Falun Gong. It was, I don't know if you guys have heard about Falun Gong, but it was made illegal by the Chinese government, and they have concentration camps for Falun Gong practitioners in China, and they just kidnap the Falun Gong people out of their houses in the middle of the night, and they just made it illegal over there. And the teacher of Falun Gong, he fled China. I don't even know where he is now. I know he was in the United States back then, about 13 years ago. But that's how I learned how to meditate. Really, was through Falun Gong, Qigong. It's descended from Buddhist and Taoist meditation and Qigong techniques. And,
yeah, that Falun Gong is what you were into when I was there.
Yeah, Falun Gong, and I really just, even to this day, inner peace to me is something that I strive for every day, because if you had a choice of being feeling disturbed inside yourself, or just thinking about something too much, or just being totally at peace, boom, letting go of all your cares and worries and stresses.
Whoa.
Of course you're going to choose inner peace, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude,
You have a choice.
that is exactly what I was thinking about your spot, your apartment when I visited, was the roaches. No, the roaches. I got to inner peace with my roach phobia when.
Yeah, there was some roaches up in that apartment, guaranteed.
I had never seen a roach. And it looked like the cat food was on. It looked like somebody left the cat food on.
Oh.
This is during the day. And then I remember laying on the couch, and one would get on me, right? When you're sleeping, one would get on you, crawl on you. And then I would flip it off and freak out and wake up and walk around and go outside and get crazy. And then pretty soon one would get on me, and then I'd just wait. And then there'd be 3, and then I would go through that same ritual, and then pretty soon it was just making a blanket.
Oh, roach blanket.
Yeah, by the end of the time there, I was just oh, come on, guys. I just cuddle up with them.
Get a couple on my elbow. It's getting cold over there.
That shit was crazy. We had to clean out all our clothes before we left. I remember that. That shit was crazy.
Show up at the skate spot.
California style.
Pants.
You got to pay to play at the beach, man. That place was awesome.
That was definitely crazy. That apartment had hella roaches, but then I moved across the street.
Yeah.
I think you visited me across the street.
Yeah.
And there was not even any roaches at that one.
Isn't that weird?
Plus, you know what I'm saying?
Weird.
There's a fine line.
It's drawn in the street, right down the middle of the road.
They're no, we don't go over there, man.
They can't afford it over there.
Yeah, no, it's too nice over there.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
No,
Visiting you there was awesome.
I think it's because it's hotter or something. But now they even have roaches in Washington, I noticed, too.
Yeah.
Weird. They, are just taking over the whole United States.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen some roaches in Washington. They never used to have them when I was a kid, but in Washington, I mean, not in Washington, in California, in some places, the really hot places, they have huge roaches, and you can like, I mean, I wouldn't really even like just kill one now if I saw it on the sidewalk, but I remember when I was younger, you know, like a teenager or something, I seen this huge roach in California on the sidewalk, and I was like, oh, this thing's dead, you know what I mean, because I guess I was kind of, you know, I had that mean mentality, I'm just going to kill this roach out on the sidewalk, you know, even though I wouldn't do that now, but I did. I tried to stomp it out.
No.
Like, bam, stomp on it. Dude, and it walked away with my foot. Like,
you got
like,
1 foot now.
I stomped it did not die, and it walked away and, like, almost knocked me over. Like, lifted up my foot, and it just ran away. I was like,
Oh, y'all cool. All right, then.
Damn.
You guys been friends ever since?
Gangster roach.
He's like, man, why'd you try to step on me? That ain't cool, man. But we're cool now. It's cool.
You said that your dad took you to some classes, like when you were like 10.
Yeah, at the Washington Psychic Institute. I think that's what it was called.
You just, because you lived, didn't you mostly live with your dad? Your parents were divorced and you lived with your dad? Or was that, am I wrong?
Yeah. My parents divorced when I was 9, and my dad raised me, so I got mad love for my dad.
Yeah.
My dad is one of my best friends.
Yeah, I see him around every once in a while. I love seeing that guy.
Yeah, he's Tacoma OG.
Dude,
Tacoma
yeah.
OG.
You should
He
see this.
really, like,
Go ahead.
to me, he kind of is like, he's like a wizard or a shaman. He's a master builder. He's a carpenter. Like,
That's how you got your treehouse hooked up.
what?
He hooked up your treehouse.
Yeah, he built the treehouse, but he's really good finish carpenter. He's a shipbuilder, but he's a super advanced craftsman, carpenter, and he's a herbalist. He's a professional astrologer. Well, he does like astrology charts for people.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a big influence on me in every way, but I think that in life, you know, there's like idealistic types of things which you hear about, which might not always be true, but of course it's good to have ideals and have like good ideals and principles. And then there's like practical side of life, which is basically the nitty-gritty, the reality of a situation.
Mm-hmm.
And on the real, like, on just the realness and nitty-gritty, in a lot of ways, to me, my dad really is somewhat of a shaman and like a real life wizard, but he just hides out in Tacoma. He's an OG.
Dude, he's got a badass cane.
Wizard.
He's got a badass cane.
Oh, really? Like a real wizard staff?
He's got a badass cane, yeah.
Well, Steve,
Yeah,
your
I
dad
love
sounds
my
amazing,
dad.
man. Sounds like a real cool guy. Maybe I hope to meet him around sometime.
Yeah, but I wanted to talk a little bit about my record label and my music, just so that anyone listening, you know, maybe they could check it out. And are you guys cool with that, or?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man, we definitely want to hear about it because that's a big thing of what you're doing now. Yeah, let us know what you're up to. You got so you're a lyricist and you're going to be putting out your own record label?
Yeah, but I know that I sent you guys that new track off my album. Do you think you guys are just going to insert it, like, at the end of the show or the beginning or somehow, like, put it in there?
Yeah, we're in the show right now.
Yeah, man, we'll be.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I can attach it.
I just wonder. We never really talked about that, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys will put it in there somehow. Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, what we'll do is, as soon as I'm done talking right here, we'll just clip it and insert it in there.
Standing on the top of a Sahasrara mountain, the view is incredible. I feel like I can see the whole world. Walk through concrete cities like a mystic ninja. The spiritual doorways open and I enter. In the distance I hear the call of the Yeti. I travel with a backpack and a machete. Walk through concrete cities like a mystic ninja. The spiritual doorways open and I enter. In the distance I hear the call of the Yeti. I travel with a backpack and a machete. Harvest healing herbs with a knife in the Serengeti. Pathway long, stay strong, keep your feet steady. I did not graduate high school, didn't go to college. In the school of life I learned a different kind of knowledge. Street mystics and magic, connect telepathic. Knowledge of God, guiding poetry, ecstatic. Chopper staff of Moses, metamorphosis. Diagnosis, wrong, a free mind is not psychosis. In an insane world, sanity must be ferocious. Attack the new world order like a swarm of locusts. Pen of Nostradamus, sidewalk shift, plate tectonic. True divine knowledge will return like Halley's Comet. Ronin 77, Shade Palace Guard, Street Ninja Metaphysics. Walk through concrete cities like a mystic ninja. The spiritual doorways open and I enter. In the distance I hear the call of the Yeti. I travel with a backpack and a machete. Cut through illusion, the sword of truth is heavy. Training for years in a temple, you are ready. Realize that the sword of truth is really weightless. Sacred techniques to escape the matrix. Fighting a holy war inside of me, jihad. Climb my forest branches and watch like a tree frog. Shamanic disciples fly with spirit of the eagle. Transform into the true self, leave behind the fake ego. God is within, enter the state of pratyahara. Bad energy will not penetrate my chakra armor. Mind zone, unlocked dome with energy cyclone. Golden spiral mathematics of the pine cone. See God in everything, open third eye vision. Listen to the story of a street metaphysician. Ninja wizard, Sanskrit, catacomb adventure lyrics. Emerge from a manhole with notebooks of metaphysics.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, thanks for playing that track.
Yeah.
Talking about
Yeah.
We'll also make it available
the
for
shortest track ever. No. But
we'll also make it available for people to download separately, not as part of the entire podcast as well, so they can just get the song itself.
yeah, that's fine because from now until into the future for quite some time, I'm going to have all my music is just going to be free to download. I'm not going to be selling any digital downloads probably.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I'm going to be pressing up CDs and tapes and eventually actual vinyl records and just
Yeah.
like selling those. But I want to give the digital music away for free for now, so you guys could definitely give that song, that MP3 I sent you of the song, you could just give it away, for free downloads. But basically, like, my project I'm working on, well, I'm a hip-hop artist. My name's Crazy Monk, but, of course, like, some people know me as Steve Olson. But I have Sacred ESP Movement, Sacred ESP Records, and actually, like, as you guys probably know, that I just made that Facebook page finally for the Sacred ESP Movement. So if anyone doesn't already know me or isn't connected with me, you can go on Facebook and we have the Sacred ESP Movement page on there, and that'll be like a good way to connect with me. And the page basically is Sacred ESP Movement and Sacred ESP Records it's the same thing, but it's mainly it's a movement. It's sacred ESP movement, because it's not just about music. And the reason I set up the page was it's not only about promoting music. It's about basically just sharing any types of spiritual, metaphysical knowledge from all different traditions through that page, because I was never into the internet. I never had MySpace. I was just like totally underground, like for real. It's the term underground, one of the origins of it was like from the 60s, when you had like the Black Panthers, the BLA, Black Liberation Army, was even more subversive than the Black Panthers. They did a lot of bombings, and basically they were like domestic terrorists. You had the Weather Underground, which was basically like white people that were doing what the Black Liberation Army was doing. They all worked together. The Weather Underground, they did bombings, but they wouldn't really try to kill people. But basically, like all those crazy, because in the 60s, there almost was, we were on the verge of like civil war, revolution. You know what I mean? It was crazy. Like, people think the revolution's going to come. It already came. We already almost had a revolution in the United States in the 60s. And so when those guys, you know what I mean, when it got hot for them, like, boom, the FBI, whatnot, is looking for whoever from one of those groups, they went underground. So that meant basically, like, boom, they're, like, below the street level. Like, they cannot be found. Like, I went underground for a while, so I was not about social media. Everyone would tell me, like, yo, man, like, everyone wonders what happened to you. Like, you just disappeared. You were in the public eye. Like, no one knows what happened to you. And then I have no reason to be in the public eye. I really, in my heart, I really don't even care. Like, what I'm doing right now, I'm doing as hopefully just as a service. Like, I care. Like, I care about people so much. When I wake up every day, my prayer when I wake up every day is that all I want is just like healing for the planet and good things for everyone at every moment, every breath, every step. All I want is just good things, because this world culture, this planet, this society, when you look at it, it's like, yeah, it's business as usual, it's all good, but I mean, flip side of the coin is that the human race it's on a path for destruction, and so, I mean, man, that's not cool. The insanity of humanity right now, it's on the realness. It's real. That's like a fact that people aren't thinking about it. People are just, and I'm guilty of it too, but people are just posted up in their houses, like looking at computers or looking at like huge old like plasma TVs. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, people, we need to think about what's going on in the world. Like, man, crazy stuff's going on in the world.
Yeah, and it's great that you're sharing this, drive and passion for some change and a different alternative than, self-destruction and human awfulness. There's definitely a flip side of the coin, and we have, like, a long way to go, and it's cool that people like you were contributing into that mindset, man, that positive energy.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, is just keep on making this music, which is why I was saying, which is why I came back to the surface. I was underground, then boom, I popped my head back up, and I came out with my first album, Crazy Monk, 27th letter of the alphabet. In 2012, I came out with that album, and I got a lot of good stuff happen from that. I was I was discovered by this, my good friend, the 9/11 researcher. He has 2 books out about 9/11. Sander Hicks. He's this really dope political activist and musician and Zen meditation practitioner. He found me online. He found my album and he listened to it. He's out in New York City. And he believed in me so much that he took me on tour for a month. We went on tour in 2013 with a yoga instructor, and Sander did self-empowerment, basically like public speaking and group meditation. We did group prayer, group meditation, group yoga, and then I performed my music on this 1-month-long tour, the Truth Party Tour, which we hope to do again, like in the not too distant future. But yeah, I mean, dropping my first album, I got enough of a positive response to know that, okay, like, there's some people out there. I don't care if anyone likes it. I like it. I do it for myself. I mean, art, it's like a form of therapy. I do it for myself. But, you know, that's the only reason I tried to come back out into the public.
But why'd you disappear? Why'd you disappear in the first place? Why'd you disappear in the first place?
What?
Why'd you disappear in the first place?
What?
Why'd you disappear in the first place?
I've just some crazy circumstances in my life around 2005. It just kind of like forced me out of the skate industry. I don't really feel comfortable talking about all the facts of what happened, of why I was forced out of the skate industry.
Yeah.
But let's just say that it was half voluntary and half involuntary.
Yeah.
How I was forced out of the skate industry by powers greater than myself, but you know, and it involves the government too, but
yeah,
I mean, maybe off there we could talk about it sometime. But
I wasn't even.
What?
I wasn't talking about anything like that. I was talking about like what made you, because you kind of stopped skateboarding altogether, right? I mean, like you would skate around.
Not really. I mean, I still skated. I still skate on and off.
Yeah.
Like, to this day, I still skate, but not a lot. Like not every day. I mean, I haven't been skating that much, but I think the last time I skated was like a month ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean.
But doesn't it feel like it did when you're a kid now, kind of?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get that feeling.
When I skate, I just now like I don't care about anything.
Yeah.
I feel so free. And
yeah.
The best. I really like it. And but
that's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I you know, quote unquote went underground because I didn't care, you know, I left the skate industry, so that in itself took me out of the spotlight, you know, and then that's when like MySpace came out and everyone was online.
Yeah.
And I just didn't care for it. I was just like, I don't care about that.
Yeah, that's not really even your style.
Yeah, but then when I felt like I had something to share when I came out with my first album, I was like, everyone was like, oh yeah, use social media to promote your music. That's what everyone does now. So I did, and then I found, you know,
other people.
Yeah, and I was like, this is dope. I'm really into spirituality and different types of spiritual metaphysical teachings, and I like to share this stuff that I'm into. Other people are into it, and I've been researching this stuff for so long, and it really interests me, and I feel like helps me in my life, so I like to share it, and that's what I want to do with Sacred ESP Movement. Ultimately is just put out music through Sacred ESP Movement, Sacred ESP Records. I'm coming out with my second album this summer, and then I'm talking to 2 other artists, hopefully gonna do some albums for them, and I would like to publish some books and work with other, painters, illustrators, just artists from all different types of mediums.
Yeah.
To put out just different types of art that what I would call sacred art, is because one of the roles of like a shaman throughout history has been, one of them is artist. I mean, healer is one of them. Artist is one of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that all different types of artists, I think one common thread of art is that a good artist, I think, in their own individual way, strives for beauty. But, you know what I'm saying? Just like, when someone starts tagging like a graffiti artist, it doesn't look very good because they're not skilled, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You can tell, like, boom, like, that person basically just started tagging. You can tell by the way they write their letters.
You
Yeah.
definitely
And then,
tell.
6 months later, you see that same name up, and it looks hella dope. You're like, man, they've been putting in work. They've been practicing.
Yeah.
Like, look at that. It's like, boom, it's super dope, beautiful calligraphy now. So
That's how I learned to practice art.
What?
That's how I learned to practice art, was graffiti.
Graffiti?
Yeah. Like, I never thought of practicing art. I just drew when I wanted to draw. I didn't think about practicing.
Yeah. But they call it practice. I mean, repetition and, doing it.
Yeah.
Doing it
Oh,
for
yeah.
a while.
But I'm just saying, I never looked at it like that.
Like, have you ever heard of that dude, Thomas Campbell?
I think I might know that name. Who is it? Or what about him?
He's an artist.
Thomas?
He's my friend. He's a dude that actually took me to Morocco. But he's like, he's a painter and a sculptor.
Thomas
And,
Campbell?
He's dope. He's a dope artist. And I remember he told me, he was like, man, when I started drawing, I sucked.
Yeah.
I would draw like stick figures. They sucked really bad.
Oh, yeah, he's
And
rad.
then I just, what?
He's rad. I just looked up his stuff. I know his stuff.
Yeah. He was like, yeah, I sucked. I drew stick figures. And he was like, but then I kept drawing them, and I kept drawing them. And then after a while, like, he didn't say like, oh, it started to look good. He stopped there and he said, if you do anything long enough, your style evolves, and eventually, like, basically, to paraphrase him, eventually it becomes dope. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, it becomes yours.
If you do long enough, it's going to become dope after a while, because that's just the nature.
Because it becomes
doing
yours.
something. You get better at it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because, like Jeremy says, because it becomes your thing. Like,
Did I say that?
I don't know. I couldn't hear.
like each person puts their own individual stamp on something. Like, we're looking up his artwork right now, and Thomas Campbell, you're badass. Looks real good.
Yeah, I've seen it a lot.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of this guy, Steve. Really like his stuff.
Really? Have you checked him out before?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's famous. You don't have to check him out, you just see it.
I'd been familiar with some of his specific styling, like some of the line work and the characters.
I love those colors.
They kind of look like they're wearing tunics or something. They're almost like teardrop shaped. They have this big parka on and a little like face coming out of it. It's very distinct, almost like a little teepee man. and I've seen those around, and I think even maybe on a couple boxcars. So, yeah, I've definitely seen this guy's work. It's great.
Heck yeah.
That's cool. That's cool that you got a quote from him too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he said to me, and but yeah, with my record label, just I want to do it as a vehicle for being able to, press up more copies of like my CDs. Underground hip hop, I know so many artists, so many artists. It's pretty crazy. It's a pretty small
network.
Scene. What?
It's a small network.
Yeah, it's small. I mean, it's big, but it's small. But it's not very organized, and I think I see so much talent, but nobody. The way that the music industry is set up is that I don't really see any labels that I know of, too many, that are basically, providing their artists with a way to survive off of their art. I mean, maybe it's just not meant to be, but I know from seeing through the inside of the skateboarding industry, it started out really small companies, skateboard companies that are ran out of like people's bedrooms in their house and stuff,
And now it's gigantic.
Growing. What?
I said now it's gigantic.
Yeah, like because there was community and there was just, they organized, they really believed in it, and they did it, and there was more of a tradition of independent skateboard companies, people starting independent skateboard companies and kind of like learning the science of it, and I'm hoping that that's what I'm going to be able to bring to the underground hip-hop.
Yeah, man, for sure. And we're trying to bring that to the underground comedy podcast community. So we definitely appreciate you being here tonight, man. I think we're probably going to need to call this one a wrap, just to, empty these bladders and move, stretch the legs a little bit. It's been intense, dude. Yeah. Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are ready to shut it down?
Yeah, for this episode for sure, but of course would love to talk with you again sometime, if you want to talk with us some more.
Yeah, man, we'll be posting and promoting any and all links to Sacred ESP Records and Project, and hooking them up with Steve Olson, aka Crazy Monk, and seeing what this guy's up to, because he has a lot to offer. Check him out.
Thanks for calling.
It was really cool.
Thanks for talking.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, man, you'll be back again and again. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, do you have any, just last words that, for the kids? I know you pretty much said them, but do you have any just last words for the kids?
Here, let me see what I got here.
All right.
Let me read you a quote from this book about shamanism.
All right.
Perfect.
Okay, this is from the book, Shaman, the Wounded Healer. Says, the life way of the shaman is nearly as old as human consciousness itself, predating the earliest recorded civilizations by thousands of years. Through the ages, the practice of shamanism has remained vital, adapting itself to the ways of all the world's cultures. Today, the role of shaman takes many forms: healer, ceremonialist, judge, sacred politician, and artist, to name a few. The shaman lies at the very heart of some cultures, while living in the shadowy fringe of others. Nevertheless, a common thread seems to connect all shamans across the planet. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And with that,
All right, you guys.
All right, Steve.
stay alive.
Stay alive.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, man. Hey everybody, coming up next week on episode 19? We have we're gonna have Seattle artist, muralist, Decoy.
Yeah, Decoy. It's an old friend of mine too. That's great.
Yeah.
It's like
Digging
old.
into the Jeremy vaults.
I had nothing to do with this one though. This was you. You got him.
Oh
You
no,
talked about
man!
it.
I think Steve has so much to offer that we just need to barely open the door, just barely open the window,
Yeah.
and let him bring his stuff out. So he has a lot to share. Oh man, that feels
That's
good.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Felt like I was in school.
So yeah, we're gonna be catching up with Decoy next time. That's gonna be real cool. We got some other cool guests booked up coming
Yeah.
up. So stay tuned. Keep coming back to Candy Teeth Radio.
Check it out.
One more time, stay alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Candy Teeth Radio, Episode 18, featuring Steve Olson aka Crazy Monk. Candy Teeth Radio, episode 18, featuring Steve Olson, also known as Crazy Monk.